Ah yes, BuzzFeed. Good old BuzzFeed is at it again with some scintillating content as usual. Unfortunately, we're going to be looking at a video posted by them a little while ago on their YouTube channel. The video is titled "I Accidentally Worked for a Scam," which, in fairness to BuzzFeed here, despite them being pretty shitty, is not one of their worst videos ever made, but just sort of boring. It's not too long of a video, just a little over 9 minutes, but after watching and listening to this tale, I have to say I'm not all too impressed by it. This is a story that supposedly happened to BuzzFeed member Brigid, and I guess they thought it was so good that they just had to have her in a video talking about it. This is more just going to be poking fun at it rather than just refuting what she has to say. Although plenty of things she recalls in this are certainly questionable. I don't know if her story actually happened or not. I mean, it's quite possible after hearing it, but I still remain skeptical. After you see it for yourselves, I think you'll understand why, so let's take a look.
When I was a freshman in college, I made a ton of money in what I can only describe as the weirdest of circumstances, and this is that story. Hello again. Before we dive in, I should emphasize how weird this story is. It doesn't make any sense, but it's completely true. I'm also going to be vague about names, locations, specifics, because you'll see.
So right away, we're just going to have to take your word that this series of events unfolded the way you're going to tell us, and fine, I'm certainly willing to listen and hear you out, but it would help if those things were used here. I get not including people or locations, I guess, understandable, but going into more specifics about it can certainly help mold the story a little better and make it more believable. While it is weird, it's not as jaw-dropping as she's making it. Same with how much money she actually got in the end is not as much as you think. But let's continue.
Here we go. So I was 19, a freshman in college, aka broke. So one day I'm just hanging out with some friends and someone mentions that there's, I don't know what else to call it, but an event happening where students could make money. Oh, cool. What do we have to do? Tutor some kids, hand out some flyers. What are we talking here? No, he says. There's this bar. You bring your ID with you, show it to these people, and they give you $20. Just making sure I understand this. I show people my license and I get $20, and that's it. Red flag right from the start here. What is happening? Why would I get money for just showing someone my ID? Of course, looking back, now it sounds incredibly sketchy, but then, let's do this. Why wouldn't we? What's the worst that could happen? We don't get $20? May as well check this out.
Well, I'm glad that you can look back and realize that at the time you didn't make the brightest decision with this. Personally, I probably wouldn't have gone even for the vague promise of $20 because like you said, what's the worst that happens? You don't get it. So I wouldn't have bothered, especially when no one elaborates on it with further information. If I was given more information about the event, then I would have more confidence in going and getting the $20, but since I don't, then I just won't do it. Better safe than sorry.
So the day arrives when this event is happening, and a group of us go to this bar. Write down your name and phone number and get in line, someone says. Psh, easy. Paperwork done, we're waiting in line. We reach the front. There's two men behind the bar. ID, the one guy asks. $20? Here we come. I hand my license over. I can smell the cash. 1 sec, he says, and walks away with my ID. Whoa, no, 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 excuse me. What is going on? This was supposed to be a clean exchange. Oh God, I knew this was a bad idea. Is my identity stolen? I knew this was too good to be here, he says, and hands me back my license with a $20 bill. Okay. As for everyone else, they got $20 too. So this thing that sounded completely impossible is in fact very real. I know what you're thinking. Cool story. That's a ton of money. This story sucks. And to that I say, chill, because we're just getting started.
Hey, that wasn't what I was thinking. There's a lot more of this video left, so I figured the story didn't end there. You may proceed. But again, I don't know why you'd go along with it, especially when they want your name and number now. I get at the time you were a desperate college student in need of some money, but this clearly wasn't smart. Did you not ask them why they needed all this information of yours? And if not, why didn't you? If I were to ask that and they didn't answer me, then I'd probably leave, but hey, you decided not to, so then what happened?
A few days go by and I get a voicemail. It was something like, "Congratulations, you've been selected for the next round. Please bring your ID to the same address." What the hell is going on?
Wait, why would you act shocked that you received a creepy voicemail from these people? You gave them your phone number. You should have suspected a phone call from them sometime after that, so wow, what a shock that they called you as predicted. So far from your perspective, certain things you're doing don't make much sense and doesn't come across as endearing, it's just stupid.
Only one other friend of mine got this voicemail. They were narrowing people down. Was I supposed to be excited or terrified? I weighed my options. My ID was probably being used to take out loans for drug mansions overseas. $20. I'm now a part of the mafia and currently being watched by FBI. $20. Let's do this. So the day comes. Again, I go to the bar, fill out my name, number. Again, shorter line this time. Apparently these IDs were the best of the best. I get up to the bar, hand my ID over, he walks away. Again, this is probably where my good luck runs out. He'll come back and say I have to apply for some fake credit card or something. It's a shame because I was really starting to. He hands me my ID and $100. At this point, I am really struggling to not laugh. Not only did I get money, I got 5 times the amount of money. Is this my job now? Is this how I make a living? Folks, step right up and take a look at what some might call the finest ID in these here United States.
Alright, so ignore the fact that the joke told there was terrible, simply not necessary, but that you're still acting weirded out that you got randomly selected with other people. It isn't because your ID was so unique, you were clearly chosen at random along with your friend and these people. Again, you don't question them as to why you're getting this, just blindly accept it because, ooh, I need money. Also, I don't want to come across as an asshole, but I don't like how she's telling the story. She seems rather unenthusiastic about it, and the enthusiasm that is there feels artificial. I'm not the best when it comes to relaying stories myself, but at the very least you have to care about telling it.
My friends are waiting outside the bar. They're just as confused as I am. The money is really starting to pile up here. What if I told you this story is about to get 10 times weirder? Maybe a week goes by. I get another mysterious voicemail. Congratulations, you've been selected as the final person. Please meet us on Saturday morning at this intersection, blah, 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 blah. This time, it wasn't even an address. It was just an area downtown. But in the morning, well, I had a decision to make. Do I continue showing up in strange places at the promise of money with no idea what's waiting for me? Or do I just quit while I'm ahead? As you're watching this, you're probably like, Brigid, come on. There's no way you're dumb enough to see this through. You probably came to your senses like a sane human. Let's do this. I know, it's bad, okay? But I went. I wanted to see what life had in store for me. I didn't go alone though. I brought a friend.
I mean, I get that this video was called I accidentally worked for a scam, but really we should change it to I willingly engaged in shady activity for curiosity's sake in attempts to make a profit only to act surprised that I get involved with questionable people. Sounds pretty correct to me, rolls right off the tongue, don't it? Again, I understand being a college student at the time and suddenly needing money, but you clearly are pushing your luck in this fable. Like, it's blatantly obvious you're going down a rabbit hole with this and you don't quit when you're ahead. I get this is sort of me judging past you and you've obviously learned from this supposed ordeal, but it makes it seem like this is a common thing with college students being so desperate for some cash. Now, most of us grew up knowing the value of a dollar, and while I personally am not in the financial debt of college, really that 20 bucks from the start wouldn't have made an impactful difference. I get it, I do, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, that can get you quite a bit of food if you shop right and are cheap, but would you go this far for just $20? Like, the description of this reads, college freshmen always need money. Shrouded in mystery, Brigid makes some risky decisions in order to make a quick buck. Ultimately, she winds up in a situation much bigger than intended. Which sounds kinda dirty, by the way, especially when I play this music and read it like this. College freshmen always need money. Shrouded in mystery, Brigid makes some risky decisions in order to make a quick buck. Brigid makes some risky decisions in order to make a quick buck. Ultimately, she winds up in a situation much bigger than intended. But seriously, it just makes BuzzFeed look like they're out of touch with your common college student, because if you were to approach a student and ask, hey, you want to make a quick 20 bucks? You'd probably get an eyebrow or two raised and some questions asked, and imagine if you would just go, yeah, sure, whatever, I guess. But especially now, people are more careful about fishy stuff like that. But I've interrupted this wee last long enough. Let's hear more of what happens until I interrupt again.
We head to this corner downtown. We're standing there on the sidewalk. What are we supposed to be looking for? Suddenly, a van door just slides open. Yeah, a van. This is it. This is how I die. There's a group of at least 5 people in this van. A man and a woman get out. Goodbye, cruel world. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. The woman hands me an envelope. There's $7,000 cash in here. And here's a list. I'm an assassin. I'm an assassin now, and this is my hit list. The games are in order of priority, seats together, no partial viewing. I glance around as she's talking. Oh, we're outside of the stadium. Wait. Am I buying tickets to a sporting event? If you're thinking of leaving this video, don't, because this story gets crazier.
I like the part of the story where you never decided to call back the number whoever called you to verify it was them and ask them why they're doing this, or simply ignoring the message altogether and pocket the $120 you took from this little detour instead of just being greedy. You had no reason to go to the location despite being the winner. Don't show, don't get the prize. You could have not gone, especially when the location changed from the bar to the stadium. At least bringing a friend was smart, but same time sucks for them if things go south, so thanks for dragging them along into this. Can I also say this sounds somehow both underwhelming and really overdramatic for the sake of being dramatic? Just wait till she says what happens next.
The lady explains to me that I'm about to have the chance to buy tickets that the general public doesn't have access to yet. It was up to me to get as many of the games on this list as possible. Okay, a little confusing with all of the requests that they had, but this isn't nearly as scary. One more thing, the woman says. Under no circumstances do you tell anyone where you got this money or who we are. Wait, what? Who? Why? What? Real confidence booster. At least my friend can come with me. We start to walk towards the stadium. No, he stays here. Of course, leaving my friend on the corner, all by myself. Here goes nothing. There was a small group of rich-looking businessmen gathered outside the stadium. Someone from inside the stadium pokes their head out of the door. We're ready for you. Follow me this way. I'm assuming that includes me. We walk into the stadium, down this hall, and the guy pushes on what looks like a wall. It's a door that leads into this dimly lit conference room. There is no one under 35 years old, except for me. There are no women in this room, except for me. Everyone is in a suit, except for me. The same person who led us into the stadium explains how we'll be picking games and who gets what tickets.
So it's sounding like the scam she's referring to is a ticket scalping scheme, in where tickets for games and sporting events are bought and resold at a higher price. With ticket scalping, while illegal in some states and a few others, it's been more regulated, adding more rules to follow and how to go about it. So it seems like you unknowingly got shanghaied into that, with your friend possibly being used as leverage if you ran off with the $7,000, still having your information even if they didn't. The room with all the old businessmen does sound like something ripped from a movie, having a secret entrance to the board meeting in a dimly lit room, which, I don't know, doesn't seem too outlandish to me, but same time, not that I don't believe you, but...
I stuck exactly to what the people in the van had told me. Eventually, we were done. The stadium person speaks up again. I don't imagine this is the case, but no one is paying with cash, correct? My stomach does a backflip. All the businessmen are obviously shaking their heads no. Shit. I have to raise my hand. I literally have an envelope of $7,000. Yes, I have cash. I am paying with cash? Everyone was clearly aware of the small blonde girl from the start, but now everyone's eyes are on me. It felt like I was in a movie when someone goes,
"She doesn't even go here."
But that didn't happen. Okay, you can swing around to the front of the stadium and pick your tickets up there. We all go out front. Everything seems normal. I walk to the ticket window, slide my list of games through the slot. The woman behind the glass looks me up and down. She turns around and puts all of the tickets I need into an envelope. She slides it back through the slot towards me. I calmly reach for them, but her hand is still on the tickets. All sound is gone. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. With the deepest eye contact I've ever felt, she looks at me and asks, "Who sent you?" I stare back at her. I say nothing. With her other hand, the woman turns around to pick up a phone. I don't know who she wants to call, but I don't want to stick around to find out. I slam the cash on the counter, I grab the tickets, and I run. I run as fast as I can.
In theory, the reason why she asked who sent you is probably because the tickets were being held in someone else's name, so she needed to verify if you or someone else is the ticket holder. Not only that, but like you said, you stuck out amongst the others who were there not in any business attire, and not giving off the vibe of a sports enthusiast. Oh, and also just having $7,000 in cash that no college student would be wasting on sports tickets. Now, they purposefully didn't give you a name, so I get not being able to provide them with one, but that can be more than likely what happened. Until you went silent is when she probably suspected something was up and then maybe went to go contact her manager or another employee, maybe security, but that would seem a little too drastic for the exchange that's happening. Even so, I guess just taking the tickets and booking it works for you. Very sly.
Thinking back, I didn't hear anything, no yelling, no sirens. After all, I did pay for the tickets. Not with my money, but I paid for them. The air stings my lungs as I make it back to the van, out of sight of the stadium. My friend is still there, unharmed. Nobody has any idea what I just went through. I practically throw the tickets into the van. They quick flip through the envelope, checking the tickets against their list. The van people look at me. They hand me an envelope. This is for you. Oh yeah! I'm getting paid for this.
No duh. Like, what did you think you were here for? What the end goal was? Sounds like you were more in it for the thrill of doing shady activities than wanting money at this point. It may have started like that, but it turned into a complete different direction. Like, it's a joke, ha ha ha, I get it, but this is becoming frustratingly stupid and not quirky.
With a heavy thud, the door slides shut, and the van drives off. That would ultimately be the last time I saw or even heard from these people. My friend and I opened the envelope. It had $500 in it. To a college student, I practically struck the lottery. Keep in mind that this was $500 for maybe an hour of my time. Did I think someone was gonna steal my kidneys? Kinda. Was this whole experience worth it? Not really. Oh, and guess what? That night we all went out to celebrate my accomplishments. And guess who loses their wallet? Really great. All that had been for nothing. But in the end, I did come away with a really great story.
Great isn't really the word I'd use to describe this, although honestly if you had a one-on-one with Brigid and she was more off the cuff about this, it could be interesting. But hearing this obviously weird scripted BuzzFeed version, which of course they sprinkled their fair share of ideas into this, makes it a little underwhelming when it can be condensed to you making a total of $620 and just losing all of it. Not saying 620 bucks isn't a lot, but when you say a ton of money, I'm thinking more of the thousands like you had with that $7 grand. If you ended up with that, it'd be much more impressive. Whether or not the story even happened is up for us to decide, and while I'm skeptical about it, I can see it happening, but not to some of the extremes you presented in it. It's a classic way of making a story sound better than what truly unfolded, so sprinkling some stuff into it, spicing it up, will make it seem more interesting. I blame that on BuzzFeed's side though, because while Brigid was slightly annoying in retelling this, we can see the real reason why. This video from them wasn't the best, but that's kind of the theme with BuzzFeed, as we all know. In any case, what were your thoughts on this? What did you think? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thanks to all my patrons for watching. Thank you all so much for the continued support as usual. Hope all goes well, and I'll make sure to catch you later in the next video.